The living room, where the family meets to discuss issues, any issue which may be bothering one of the family members. That's what we do each and every Tuesday on WACK 90.1 FM with Ricardo Mitchell and DJ Aaron 868. We have casual conversations on serious topics, from sports to culture, mental health to economics, relationships to life lessons. Join us each and every Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m. on WACK 90.1 FM. The Living Room, casual conversations on serious topics.
It is now 6 p.m. here in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know what time it is where you are, but I'm glad to know you're locked on to the True Nation station, WACK 90.1 FM, where we are.
Culture crazy.
What was that? That was 6.
That was 6. I mean, it's three. Or the French and them, or the Europeans and them do trois. You know. Or could I just do 6? I don't know.
I think we need some contributions on WACK.tv to get Ricardo a watch. Honestly, I think you all should go across to WACK.tv and contribute and get Ricardo a watch.
You know what? If WACK gifts me a watch, I will. I think it'll be quite the time of my life. Yeah, I'd appreciate it. It wouldn't be
your wrist wouldn't feel like it did before.
There wouldn't be a minute of the day that goes by without me being grateful.
Because you swear it'll be true.
I wouldn't give it a second thought.
And you'll be holding on to you.
I just threw it out there, Era. Just threw it out there. That was a lot of clock puns and way too short a space of time.
Right. So first and foremost, let's kick this off as you always do. Please and thank you. Want to say thanks and praises to Almighty for the gift of life and granting us to see another day. Because no matter what time of day it is, you must always
give thanks.
Secondly, we want to say thank you to those that went before us, and we are not just talking about our ancestors, the original inhabitants of Trinidad and Tobago, because we all know, accept, reiterate, and we say it with the chest that Columbus lied. But also to our brother in music, Tony Prescott, who is not here this week because he fly out already. But we still had to say, think it's Tony D or Mr. Desmond.
Okay.
Right? So we just go in with the P. We still stand with a P. So what the P is for this week?
Procurement, Aaron. Procurement, that's supposed to be the most important P. I mean, if you want to talk about Premier Leagues, which having some very interesting showings. If you want to talk about performance, which is actually lasting 4.25 days out of 5 in terms of cricket. If you what do you want to talk again? Pothole paving with the inevitable
elections.
Parade. Politicians passing.
There's so many things that are going on that we could describe with the word P. But what I think it is, a lot of things are preposterous.
That's an excellent P.
Right? But before we go any further, let's introduce ourselves. I'm yours truly, DJ Aaron 868. I remind you that culture is my code, alongside my bro with no fro, but a lot of flow.
Ricardo Mitchell, the social sage on the global stage.
And this is The Living Room, the weekly program where we discuss any, every, and nothing under the sun. And this is one of those weeks where we just come to talk to you all about many different things that are taking place in our country. And
it is one of those sit down and catch up sessions then.
Yeah. So first and foremost, one thing that we must discuss is the importance of rest.
Yeah.
This weekend on Sunday night, while taking in a pre-season fixture of Real Madrid versus AC Milan on ESPN, the world was shocked to see a moment where one of Trinidad's footballing heroes, Mr. Shaka Hislop, would have fainted while on live television.
It was a feint?
We don't know exactly what it was.
Well, then he collapsed.
Right. he collapsed on live television, which caused quite a stir.
Mm-hmm.
And he would have put out a statement yesterday saying that he is okay and that he is embarrassed to the fact that the occasion happened.
So it wasn't a medical thing. It was, I guess, what the culmination of bad decisions. He was just poorly rested. He didn't eat on time. What
he didn't delve into all that detail, but he just said he was embarrassed that it happened and to let the world know that he's okay. But he also said in his statement that the need for rest and recognizing when your body is calling for rest is a real need and something that you need to listen to.
Well, that is an interesting statement to put out. This is Brett Van now passing, but anyway, that is an interesting statement to put out. The P this week would have been for pastries, but I can't run outside now to catch a Brett Van. That's my hard luck.
To be fine.
But yeah, so because I find the embarrassed part was a little bit interesting.
Yeah,
because now it lends it kind of have you thinking the collapse was all right. If it was cause for medical concern, embarrassed wouldn't necessarily be the best word for it. Then again, too, the P could be for public relations because you never know if he just don't want to put out that it is cause for medical concern, so he just writing it off as
a one-off thing. So that's the thing. We don't know exactly what is taking place. All we could talk about is the statement that was put out to us. Right. So, but what I'm saying here today to you, the listeners of WACK 90.1 FM, and this is not just a message for me telling you all that. There's a message me telling myself too. When your body makes that call for rest, please take heed. Because if you don't go and get the rest, your body will take it sometimes in the most inopportune moments.
Sound like wise words, babe. Wise words. Yeah. That is some excellent, almost even sage wisdom, Aaron. Yeah.
Right? And I'm just saying that because a lot of us think you had to work hard, you had to grind, you had to hustle.
I got sleep on a dad.
Oh gosh, I hate to hear that, you know.
I used to say plenty, Father forgive me.
Right? But the catch in it is, Ricardo always says you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't sing from strained tonsils.
Suppose you had to sing for your supper though.
It'll sound bad.
But yeah.
You can't run on tired muscles.
You circling the drain, you know. Cardo run on empty tank. People will stop in the gas station because they know that the car needs fuel and they wouldn't bother to refuel themselves. And you know how we refuel? We eat
rest
and we rest.
To quote Olatunji, the car can't start so it cannot drive. And the car can't start without fuel, or if you have a hybrid car, a well-charged battery. And how it is charge your battery? By plugging it in and allowing it to charge.
Ironically enough, sometimes unplugging is the way to relax and recharge, but that's
a whole other conversation.
That's a whole other convo.
But that's the thing, guys. So when your body calling for rest, listen to that call. And also, when your body calling for you to use the toilet, listen to that call as well. That's a real serious call to answer.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing to bring up. But you know what? Cool. I hear you.
No. The reason why I'm saying that is because a lot of us think that pulling up pulling up a pee, as we say, is okay, but that actually causes a lot more damage.
Yeah, correct.
So when the body is calling to do it, please try your best to do it within a timely manner. And
I could hold it.
Yeah, and not just on the side of the road, fellas are talking to all you.
I mean, for those who have their own vehicles and thing and you're worried about traffic and that kind of thing, leave a little empty Gatorade bottle.
Yes.
something like that. Man.
Something like that. But that's just the two calls that I'm saying that if you have to answer them, try to answer them within timely and appropriate manners. Right?
Yeah, that I could hold it thing that really cause problems after the fact.
And I'm going to say as well, the reason why I also mentioned the rest aspect is because on Sunday, unfortunately, when I was leaving home to go and deliver some tickets to my birthday boat ride, and just throwing that out there without saying it.
Yeah. I mean, come on, Aaron, it'll be poor form for you to advertise, celebrate your is a cooler birthday cruise, or just a regular? Is a cool? You have now? Oh well, yeah, you can advertise it. That's really, really poor form. But I just saying that I should have asked you to drop off tickets for celebrate the birthday cooler cruise the night before the holiday. In Liquid Lounge, but that is Liquid Lounge is where I'm trying to remember. You see, I remind me of these things now. Yeah, I remind me of these things. But anyway, that's just
So when I was going to drop off those tickets on Sunday, I witnessed an accident by Union Hall, by Vimcut, not the main stretch, the Vimcut part of it now. Right. A gentleman, it looked like he fell asleep, and he tried to overcorrect when he caught himself, and he smashed head on into a lady's arm. Looked like a RAV4. Right? There was no major damage to the individuals. However, the car was severely damaged.
Right.
And when passing, because you slow down just to make sure things are okay.
That is the expanded term of macro traffic.
Yeah. No, but I was actually passing the actual accident.
When it happened, it wasn't a case.
No.
Okay.
Right. And I heard the gentleman telling the lady, he really sorry that he fell asleep. He now finished work at 24 and he was trying to get home to get some rest. So that's why I'm saying, guys, when the body is calling for rest, if you could have stayed on work for the extra 15 to 20 minutes and take a power nap to get home, sometimes that's what you need to do, right?
Yeah, I know if after a 24-hour stretch, you could really take a power nap, that sounds like full on knockout. But I agree with you. A lot of people forget that tired just as bad as tight.
Right? But as we were talking about the unplugging situation, right? And sometimes that you need to unplug. Last week, Friday, Ricardo and I, the now retired West Indies fan, myself, and the throwing the towel West Indies fan, Ricardo.
Anyway, you're listening. This is me actively listening. Sorry, Aaron.
We took a trip to the Queen's Park Oval to see our beloved, and that's the best way to describe them, our beloved West Indies take on India in the Cycle Agrabat Test Series.
Okay.
Right? I want to say first and foremost, even as a retired fan, to an extent, I'm still a fan. Because this is the team of my region. And I will support the Ventiers. I'm not accepting mediocrity, but I will support what we are trying to do. However, with that being said, I think the real privilege on the day for me was witnessing West Indies take 10 wickets to close off our innings.
Right.
And then finish the day with only one wicket down.
It was only one. It was
only one. Tej Narayan Chandapal was the wicket to fall on Friday.
Yes, correct.
Right? And what also appeased me was the fact that West Indies batted out the day, even though it was rain interrupted on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I apologize to the West Indies cricket team as well, because they took a test to 5 days.
After you told people to stop buying the day 5 tickets.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, but then again, I wonder if that would explain after
why
batting
so
out.
much rain?
No, I just trying to figure out after batting out whole day Saturday, if it was part of the plan to wrap up the innings so quickly Sunday morning now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't really bat too long now,
Yeah, so that 5 wickets in 8 overs though. Anyway,
for 27 runs or thereabout.
Who was counting? Record breaking match.
Yeah, boy. But honestly, West Indies will be playing in now. We lost the Test match series 1-0 because we lost the first match in Dominica. So India would have retained the whatever trophy it is called that. I don't know, because I know England and Australia is the Ashes, and that's 2-1 to Australia, and they retain the Ashes there. They head on to the one-day series that'll be taking place in Barbados, and then they come to Trinidad next week, Tuesday, the 1st of August. That's my birthday. For a one-day, and then on Thursday they have a T20 as well. Again, I urge those who are so inclined to head on down or head out at either Kensington Oval or the Brian Lara Cricket Academy to the game to support. Because again, the team needs the support, and it was an abysmal showing on Friday, with the pocket of fans, which I only learned after 1,500 of the fans that we saw in the stand obliquely opposite us were there as a treat from Sir Brian Charles Lara.
All right.
For a foundation that he has.
Excellent stuff.
So it's not to say that they were paying fans.
Well, still that way. More people than I saw
Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
For a weekend test match.
Where we were on day 4 in the first innings. So day 4 for me personally, that would have been the day to go and watch cricket.
Yeah.
Because depending on what happened, that game could have gone either way.
Exactly. So guys, we just saying we still need to show the team the support. Most important. We could criticize the performances, which we so ably do as people from the Caribbean. But you can't criticize something that you don't know about. Even though that's something we do very well in the Caribbean as well. We need to start to show support, right? Because it's not just the West Indies cricket team. The oh my gosh, Commonwealth Junior Games is starting very soon as well, and it's taking place in both Trinidad and Tobago. So I implore you that if you are into athletics, you can head out there and support that as well. That'll be taking place at the Hazley Crawford Stadium, the National Aquatic Centre in Couva, the National Cycling Centre in Couva, and various facilities across Tobago as well.
Did I nothing in South?
Couva counter South, remember, after the lighthouse in South Carol.
So, I'm not getting into that with you. But yeah, actually Couva right there. And remember, Marbella is central, so that's really central to central. I don't know. I just say, Marbella not display in central zone for Intercolor.
Help your children.
I just showing it out there.
Don't it might fall. No, but really, actually, guys, there's so many sporting events taking place. Head out and support. Women's World Cup as well. Sunday morning, I watched Jamaica battle for a draw with France.
Yeah.
First ever point in the World Cup. With one of the tournament favorites, France.
I was watching Netherlands play Portugal the other morning. That was early Saturday morning, late Friday night, yeah. I
watched Brazil play this morning. Brazil women's team have the flicks and tricks, Carlo. Yeah. And when I tell you the flicks and tricks, I talk about a woman pass a ball into the box, and she hit her back heel flick, and then she clip it over the top for her next another player. Then she back heel it to somebody else, and then it scored. The flicks and tricks, the samba in the football. But I say this to the commentators who are working that World Cup. Let's not make it a gender issue. Commentate on the sport and that alone. Because there's an unfortunate incident where a commentator drew reference to the fact that one of the Australian players would have recently had a child. And she spoke that the commitment is still there despite the transition into motherhood. That's not what we are there to hear.
But I'm confused.
Because they're saying that if it was the male game, that would not have been mentioned.
Don't know, I've heard of guys getting married or leaving because of the some family incident that had to navigate. We are all aware of football players leaving camp or leaving a tournament because there might have been, a family issue to attend to.
Right.
So it does not strike me as odd that you would reference a player playing after having not played for a while for whatever reason, is it a gender issue or is it a humanity issue when you speak of, I mean, a reason why a player wasn't active?
Right, and that's the thing. I understand you speaking to a reason, right? The player wasn't active because of injury or something of the sort. But in my 25 plus years probably of watching football,
yeah,
I've never heard mention from a commentator of, well, he just came off paternity leave.
Well, that kind of unfair considering that paternity leave is something that relatively only introduced to a number of societies, and even if it existed, it's not exactly the type of thing that is spoken about. But let's look at it this way. If you want to be fair to the female athletes, you have to acknowledge that the female athletes face unique challenges.
Right.
And not being able to play for a year because of injury or a mental health time or going back to school or being unavailable, so on and so forth. At the end of the day, if any of the male athletes could have gotten pregnant and come back to play football after having been pregnant, they would have spoken about it. But are you being fair to not speak about something that only affects a particular set of athletes? Is it fair to the sport to not acknowledge a very real challenge that unique group faces? So I get talk about the sport, but if you're talking about the players, well, then the players are human beings that have human challenges to face. No, I mean, I get where you're coming from, but if that's the case, well, then don't call it Women's World Cup.
That's called a World Cup.
World Cup. Part 2. What I mean is, what is a Women's World Cup? But you cannot talk about a woman's issue.
Woman issue. Well, I understand that. And as I said, for me, speak primarily of the sport. That's because for me, I'll always say, no matter regardless of what the occasion is, you are there to cover that occasion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, recently, as you brought up mental health, and I'm happy that it has been introduced to the conversation.
You're welcome.
Yeah. All right. Recently, all you know, my team is Manchester United. I don't hide that. I honestly, what hide it for?
Mm-hmm.
My band is fun, Claire.
All right.
My team is Manchester United.
Mm-hmm.
I like West Indies, but it's frustrating the living daylights out summer.
That's where you go to Costa, Mm-hmm.
I support Golden State Warriors.
Big up Ingrid.
Yeah, big up Ingrid. You know who else
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, boy. You know who else I recently I start supporting, boy?
The Croatian table tennis team?
No, actually, no.
Go on, I'll listen.
It's the Jamaican female netball team.
Whoa. You mean the Jamaican netball team?
No, specifically Jamaican female netball team.
Oh, okay. Listening.
Right? They're real beating up people. Anyhow.
Sorry, I've tried. I find it real hard to watch netball. I am not discriminating against the sport, I just saying I find it hard to watch netball. I find it hard to watch curling. I find it hard to watch cornhole.
Curling is vibes, though.
No, it's different strokes to different folks, and I just find it hard to watch netball. I will watch a test match draw, right, between Nepal and Azerbaijan, if it's showing.
Test match cricket?
No. What I'm saying is I will watch cricket because that does it for me.
The other day,
it's real hard to watch netball.
The other day I watch I watched Wimbledon final, between Djokovic and the Youthman.
I watched the semis and I forgot the final until after.
I sit down with Daddy and watch that final, boy. Close to 4.5 or 5 hours of tennis, But after one up and down on that court, I won. All the training, I won.
Yeah, let Mariachi here say that now. You can put you through some tennis drills.
Brother man, he could hear that and can't do nothing about it because we're not training like that.
We're not training for that.
We're not training for that. We're training to get me in shape. Anyhow, so back to the mental health thing.
Yeah.
I honestly see a lot of teams having open and candid conversations about their players and their mental health issues. Last season in Manchester United, I think it was Jadon Sancho. He would have gotten time off from the team to sort out his mental health.
Right.
Dele Alli recently would have come and spoken about his mental health breakdown and the fact that he lost the love for the game.
Yeah.
So just as those are big stars, right, who we look up to in terms of heroes of the sport for whatever reason, and they are being open about their mental health struggles, that should be an indication for you as well to be open about yours. And not just open and go and talk to everybody about it, but open to the fact that understanding that there are issues that you may need professional help for. And remember, as Cardo always says, sometimes it's look for that free professional help. And to get that, you can head across to findcare.tt or the Ministry of Social Development's website, and they have access to free counseling there.
Yeah, this last rounds. Let me put it this way: more people need mental health support than they think. It's a challenge, right? Especially if you know someone needs help and you're trying to help them and they don't know that they need it or they outright don't want it, is a challenge. And as difficult as it is sometimes to protect your mental health, sometimes you have to leave somebody where they're at with it, you know. It's not the type of thing that I like saying, but if you're in an airplane and the plane was going down, the first thing they would tell you is to fasten your seatbelt, fasten your belt before you try to help anybody else with theirs. Right? Put on your mask before you try to help somebody with theirs. What I'm saying is that there's an element of self-preservation that comes in where thinking, and I'm going to actually emphasize something here, thinking that you don't need the type of service you distribute to others, or thinking you don't need a kind of help because I built for that, is a kind of arrogant statement to make, because you're saying that you're not susceptible to what everybody else is susceptible to. Right? And we don't see it that way. We think we just stronger, or we tougher, or our skin thicker. We have to acknowledge that we are human. And I say that, and I still struggle with my humanity. A lot of us need help in different ways, but you can't help anybody if you can't help yourself, or at least you can't help anybody if you're not willing to receive help yourself.
I don't know where to start with this. As men, I've said this on numerous platforms, on numerous posts. As men, we were brought up with the conditioning that asking for help is a sign of weakness. I am here today to tell you that asking for help is a sign of strength. Right? I'm here today to tell you, men, that it is okay to not be okay. I don't know how much times we would stress these things to you all on this platform, but we continue to reiterate the importance of us as men providing safe spaces for your brethren to come to talk if there's an issue. That peacock balance that let me do it the right way. The peacock balance which is prevalent in our nation is also the hindrance as to why men are afraid to open up.
Yeah.
Terry Lyons, in the third verse of her song House Cleaning, talks about the fact that as a man, it is hard to talk about if you are being abused. Because if a man goes to the police station to report that he's being abused, there are times that the officers will laugh at him. This ain't no joke thing. To the police service, if a man comes in to report that he is being abused in a situation, a domestic situation, or any kind of situation, that is not a laughing matter. Just as if, and I digress a bit here, If a woman goes into the police station to say that she's reporting domestic abuse, do not ask the question what you do to make the man hit you. I saw it once and it irked me to my core to the point that I could have gotten locked up because I got upset with the officer for asking that.
All right.
To the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, there needs to be a level of training for receiving complaints of domestic abuse within the police system and the police service. Train the officers to understand that it has to be treated as impartial and you're just there to take the report and not to give your personal opinion on the situation. I don't know how else I could have said that one. Right?
Yeah, right there with you, man.
Because I know Cardo is usually the one that gets passionate about things like that.
Yeah, I remember. I'm a passionate fella.
Right? But for me, I tell you, it's not pleasant. It's also not pleasant for your brethren to laugh at you when you're going through relationship problems. And everybody has an opinion. If that was me, I would have. Everybody is walking their own journey. Everybody has their own battles that they are fighting. We need to understand that and be gentle with persons. We're not saying baby them, but be compassionate. Exercise empathy within communication, guys.
You know, empathy is one of my strong points.
No, it's not.
That is not true. I'm one of the most empathetic people you will meet. I am
one
just...
of the tallest.
Oh, that's the game we playing. No. The thing is, listen, have people who will cuddle you. CODDLE, not cuddle, CUDD. There are people who will cuddle you, and I am not a cuddler. Right? At the end of the day, Sean C is doing a series of gratitude posts for the entire month of July, and in one of them he was speaking about the people that, you know, in your life that feel like home. They make you feel safe when you're around them. And it made me stop and think for a minute. Big up Sean C, by the way. I stopped and I thought, I am not one of those people. I don't make people feel safe and comfortable. That's not my work. It has place and people for that. I am more like a gym. When you're dealing with me, it will be hard. You have to put in the work, but you generally come out feeling stronger. You generally come out feeling like you accomplished something, or that, you know, you get through a workout, which gives it's better is the word. And that's the thing. Some people designed for that. That don't mean I'm not empathetic. I don't think I'd be able to help somebody if I didn't understand. The catch is, a lot of people don't want to get better. They want to feel better. So anytime I tell them that something hard and it have work to do, they just feel like, well, or that I have personal responsibility for it. They just feel like, oh, you don't understand and you don't get where they're coming from. It's not that. But they were wrong. Everybody had different elements to deal with from different positions. And it have people who will tell you they're there, and it have people who will tell you, get up.
And that's the thing, Ricardo. You need to know when to cuddle and when to cuddle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give a prime example. I am not the fittest fella I'd have out there. I'm not gonna lie. Last year when I started my fitness journey, I couldn't do one push-up. I'm not going to lie. And that's because of a shoulder injury.
Mm-hmm.
My trainer didn't put push-ups in the workout. What he did was strengthen the other muscles, or strengthen the muscles as a whole, for me to be able to do push-ups.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm able to push 40 push-ups in one go. Right? I think there was a fitness test earlier this year. I think it was in like April or something like that. I pushed 36. Mm-hmm. And he started to call me almost.
All right.
For those of you that watched Apocalypto, you'd understand the name almost.
Mm-hmm.
because I was almost fit, because they said if you could do 40 push-ups in one go, you're fit.
Yeah.
And then the next time, bam, I knock off the 40. I think I hit 45. So what I am saying with this is sometimes in a situation, you know you want to do better. But to do better is not just simply being able to do the task one time, bam.
Mm-hmm.
To do better, sometimes you need to strengthen the other things to strengthen that one thing.
Right.
Or to strengthen the other things to give you that ability to do that one thing. So sometimes the destination may take you a lot longer. But the journey may take you a lot longer. But reaching that destination is what is important.
Yeah.
I fondly say that if you are praying and asking God for patience, God is not going to say, here, Ricardo, here's a cup of patience. No. God will give you situations to make you build patience. So don't go and pray for too much patience, because recently I saw some parents struggling with their children, and the amount of patience it takes to bring a child up in today's world, you need to be prepared for that move.
Well, on that note, I want to acknowledge, yes, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Parenting is something that's supposed to be intentional, as far as I'm concerned, especially based on what it takes to do it now. And I also believe that if you tell the Lord you want patience, He'll make you wait for it. If you tell Him you want strength, He'll make you work for it. At the end of the day, is the opportunity to practice the thing that you want to develop. If you want wisdom, well, then you'll either go through experiences or you'll end up with teachers. And you say wisdom is that thing that anybody asks, he'll get them, right? But the fact remains is that the thing that you want out of life, there is a way and a means of obtaining it, right? At the end of the day, you want a relationship. It's not about meeting people, It's about being the type of person who could stay in a relationship. You had to put in work, your partner had to put in work, and even you had to put in work in being able to identify who's the right type of partner for you. But we just want to meet people, and they perfect as is, and we perfect as is.
The only perfect person doesn't reside on the face of this earth.
Sanctified. I just saying that.
Just so?
I mean, it's spirited me. I just saying that for the challenges that we're facing, like I like to tell you, I am stretched thin in terms of just the number of different things that are navigating and the size of some of them. And when I realized my irritability started to resurface, when I realized that my expectation of people's understanding based on how much time I have to dedicate to whatever that is at a point in time, these aren't issues that other people having. This is a cardo management thing. I have to recognize what my triggers are. I have to recognize what my meters, my gauges are. The same way I will tell people, you had to put gas in the car. You had to eat on time. You had to sleep when the night come. I have to look at what it requires for me to function. And if I run in short on what it takes for me to function, that's nobody else's fault or responsibility. I had to do the me work. And as I was telling them girls in the mentorship class, in the mentorship session on Saturday, because Sapphire Miriam Foundation start back.
And I'm going to say, big up Sapphire Miriam.
Right. At the end of the day, we out here trying to be like other people. We out here seeing what other people have and we want it. Seeing what they're doing and want to do it. But you have to show up for you. You have to show up for you in your life. You can't be somebody else. You have to be you. If you don't go to class and miscall your name and you don't answer the mark and you're absent, it have nothing to do with, well, so-and-so was there.
Well, I'm not going to say, but sometimes you have a common name like Aaron Williams and have 5 all in the class.
Well. But you have to show up for you in your life.
No, but I'm not going to say also, Ricardo, in identifying the triggers, you need to be honest with yourself. And sometimes people are your triggers.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to understand that sometimes to prevent yourself from going into a state of anxiety or depressive state, sometimes you need to not be around the people that are your triggers.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you have to remove yourself from certain friend groups or spheres of society to remove those triggers. What said that?
I am Captain Cado has left the group, you know.
Wait, I remember that.
Jed, nobody else responsible for my peace of mind but me, you know.
Yeah, I know that. Because I could tell you there. And I hate to use this as the example. On Saturday, I went to a football game that my team had, right? My fat match team. Yes, all us play football. And while I was driving into the game, I see somebody that I really don't enjoy seeing in my space. I drove straight past the team, parked up, and I waited for that individual to leave. And then I went and I greeted the team. Because I know any interaction with that person would have threw off my peace, my mental.
And you know, that's someone going to tell you that petty, or you had a girl about that, or whatever.
I don't care. You don't know. And that's what I tell people. Interactions between you and somebody, only you and that person know where it is. And if you choose to end a friendship or restrict contact, that's a you decision, because as Cardo just said, only you responsible for your mental health, for your peace of mind. As the youth might say, you're responsible for your 3 points. If they still say that, you know, there's change.
I don't know, just change it real quick now.
Yeah, boy.
Although I do feel good when I see people surprised by the use of the word Java, and we had that luck a couple of years now.
Yeah,
just in. But anyway,
so that's the thing, Ollie. We as I say, everybody navigating a lot. So if you see somebody pull square in a line because somebody not reach, don't tell them, "One boy, how you moving left so?"
Why are they going so way?
You don't know what that happened, what made that happen. Remember, everybody had their own story, you know, and you just a chapter in somebody else's own.
No, that's not true, Aaron, because we are the star of everybody else's story, because everything is about us.
Use Lady Gaga.
That's what I had to do with a Java song like that or something?
A Star Is Born, yes.
No, I don't know about that. What I'm saying is that we keep thinking that people's lives are reflections of ours, or that people's thought processes and experiences are reflections of ours.
You are not the nucleus in anybody's story. The only nucleus it have is a nucleus family.
Wow, you know what I like about you, Aaron? How relevant and applicable your metaphors and analogies are.
I know they are terrible, but that's okay. That's my style.
Yeah, that's definitely your style. Yeah.
My by train on that Ken, you know, so Israel stripping us.
I'm not commenting. I like being here. I like being here. I'm not commenting. But
Me too, but again, as they said, I'm a radio daddy.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, wait now. He get promotion? Because I know he was a godfather, but now he's a radio daddy?
Yeah, I'm a radio daddy, apparently.
That nothing like a sugar mama, right?
No.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Because I don't know if I don't know if they're doing anything special on the holiday on Tuesday, but if it's another retro shootout, I'm not going to be a part of it. I just not, you know.
Yeah, because that's not a birthday.
Exactly, and I don't have a birthday.
Oh, you know, go to. Well, at least you get them a week notice.
Yeah, Kitchener say don't ask me to work for Carnival.
Yeah.
But don't ask me to work for my birthday. Last year I get them that blind, but not this year.
I need a break.
I had to beat them up last year.
I need a 5. I reaching to a point where I'm looking at my phone with some dread, just wondering if it have messages or notifications coming in, and I just need a break there.
And you know, You have told me before, Ricardo, that I shouldn't say you told me, you commended me on my cutoff time. And I would suggest to you, as well as to any of the listeners who have that issue of feeling like they always need to be accessible, implement a cutoff time. If you work for yourself, implement business hours. Because if you're working for yourself, you are a business. So businesses open and close. And we started tonight by saying, the saying that I go sleep when I'm dead is not saying that you need to continue.
Yeah.
So I reiterate, getting rest is important. Unplugging is important. So if you feel the need, Cardo, to take a 2 days and go and sit down on a beach in Mayaro and just stare at the water, do that.
Done. I not talking about 2 days, you know. I talking about a complete disappear. I could take a good month of nobody know what's going on, nobody know where I am. No, I'm not saying I'm looking to get disappeared or anything along them lines. What I'm saying is that I'm not talking about I could do it a disconnect. You know, a proper good old fashioned disconnect. The thing is, not in a position to do that right now, because there are people who are still reliant on at least I can't even say my presence, but my involvement. Right. But horse, I ain't lie to tell you, my phone has been on silent for years, and when I take my phone off silent, for a couple hours every day, based on what I'm expecting to happen, when the night come, that phone going straight back to silent, you know.
Why just take your phone off silent?
Raise the volume. No, silent is a mode.
Oh, okay.
You know, they say you could put it on silent, you could take it off silent.
My phone is always on silent.
So if I call you right now, listeners not gonna hear it ring?
Nope.
How about your watch? It'll talk to you? It'll tell you, Aaron.
Nah, it won't talk to me. It'll just it'll vibrate to let me know that somebody's calling.
Yeah. I starting to imagine that I hear in my phone ringing and that type of thing, and I know that those are indicators that I need to unplug.
And that's the thing. Now, as persons within media, we started tonight talking about the unfortunate incident with Shaka Hislop. If we continue to serve the needs of you, the listeners, constantly without taking time for ourselves, that is something that could happen. Burnout is real. So, and remember, guys, as I think I said a couple of weeks ago, even though we are constantly here on the airwaves with you, you see us outside, you see us all over the place. We are human beings just like you. We have our own trials and tribulations that we are fighting. So as much as you want, now we're not that big that everybody will want to be taking pictures with us and things. We's not jumbo the nuts, man.
Speaking of which, anyway, I'll leave it that. I could just post a picture, I ain't say nothing.
Yeah. So we's not jumbo the nuts, man. That's Sunil Gavaskar. Remember who he is and all kind of thing.
Correct. That was interesting to see.
Yeah, boy.
Right. Big up Sunil too.
Yeah, boy. Big up Sunil. But big up Virat Kohli, though. King Kohli, boy. Yeah, boy. But remember, guys, we are people too. We also need the time. Now, again, we're not celebrities that if you see me in the grocery, you're going and run up and want a picture with me. I don't ever want to reach that level of celebrity, to be honest. But I'm just saying, remember that we are people too. Right? I think, I don't know like how close we are to 7 o'clock as yet, but I think tonight I want to end tonight's program by playing Terry Lyon's song House Cleaning. Because she spoke to a lot of serious social issues which we discussed in today's program. And you all know I love me some Terry Lyons.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, Terry, good night. And I would expect birthday greetings next week. I just letting you know that, Terry.
I want to know when she's doing her next concert.
But here now, that was best, you know.
That was
That I
one
tell
of my
Terry,
highlights.
I tell Terry that I owe her money.
Yeah, it was
Right.
a flick. Yeah.
So big up Terry Lyons. But guys, you know, we continue to ask that all of us are traversing life, and we ask that be careful of fellow human beings. When we stop caring for each other, that is the time that humanity ends, and we don't want humanity to end.
Yeah, well, from all I'm saying is that I have seen my professionalism lapse because of my humanity. I generally try to be very patient with service providers, with staff, with business owners and employees, that type of thing. Once you're in a working environment, I generally try to have a little more patience and to extend the benefits of the doubt and that type of thing. But I know one of my signals that I needed a break was when I started forgetting things. When I started thinking I had replied. When I started thinking that we'd confirmed a meeting. Because so many things going on at the same time that just the sheer thought of engaging one of them takes the same amount of energy as actually doing it. Hey, listen, I understand why small business and that kind of thing, or even big business, doesn't end up getting post up. Because yes, I ain't saying it Trinidad, we'd have a reason that's called we tricky daddians. But there are a lot of people out there who are just human beings having a difficult stretch. That being said, it had plenty times that business places deserve to get post up to, but that's a whole other story for a whole other conversation. But for me, I just want to extend gratitude to the people who've had grace with me, for the random strangers who show up encouraging, for the random person who will comment because they see a share story that's relevant to them and you wondering to yourself, why are you even up trying to be positive this hour of the morning? What I'm saying is, thank you and forgive me, because I know, and I'm saying it on the record right now, I am tired. Grateful, but I am tired. So I'm pretty certain that there are people who are close to me going to end up feeling the brunt of my fatigue. And that's something we have to be mindful of. People not supposed to have to accommodate my state. I have to take responsibility for me. I had to take responsibility for the lack of me maintenance. So having identified certain signals, I'm going to apologize to who I have to apologize to, reschedule who I have to reschedule, and do what it takes to be able to continue to function healthily. Because it's not like I'm not seeing it coming. And it's unfair of me to expect people to see these things for me. And the last thing I want is to, bottle everything up or to move as if everything is normal and then all of a sudden just have this shutdown or this explosion. So I am going to take heed to the words that you started this episode with and pay attention to rest. And I don't mean sleep, I mean rest. On that note, this is Ricardo Mitchell, the social stage on the global stage, thanking you for joining us in the living room. The hourglass is opaque, guys. We don't know how much time remains, so whatever you're doing, be good and stay safe. And thank God for small mercies. Shaka, speedy recovery. And yeah, there's you, Aaron.
I want to say that this is yours truly, DJ Aaron 868. I remind you that culture is my code. I also remind you that there's a difference between rest and sleep. Learn that difference and get quality rest. Right? I also tell you that love is the currency, so spend some today. Have a good week, everyone. I will not be there on Friday. I have an engagement with the lovely branch of Republic Bank in Gulfview on Friday evening, so I'm going to be spending the evening there with them. And yeah, So next time we may see each other is next week Tuesday.
Birthday party. Yeah, I'll walk with my equipment and record something from the boat.
Oh, the boat ride that we're not advertising.
You can advertise it. That's not my boat ride. I can talk about it if I want.
Hey, up next is Mr. Desmond with the big band. And we ending tonight with my ever favorite, the ever beautiful, the effervescent Terry Lyons with House Cleaning.
It's Terry. And he cries. A tired woman living in fright. I'm so fed up by these bloody scenes where nobody care to intervene. So before it had to reach to R.I.P., we cleaning every stain in the community. Touch one, touch all, that's how it goes. Go and tell the world and let them know that we don't want no more talk. This ain't right. You see, I myself once was abusing life. That's why I take some of my D-Match ground winnings and open up a house cleaning business limited. So please warn them. No, we going for our abusers this year. Left foot uppercut and a swift right hand. Any woman need help? Signal we like Batman. Oh, we can't take it again. We going for our abusers this year. And for all who like to do wickedness to children, I can't tell you what we have to pay for them. Oh, we can't take it again. We going for our abusers this year. Muhammad Ali ain't want nothing with we, cause we fast like a jet and we just bite like a marabi. Oh, we can't take it again. We going for our abusers this year. It is time we look out for one and all. So if you know licks passing, what? Signal the call. Topic, it does hurt me inside. They abusing babies, some even die. People does know yet turn a blind eye. It takes a village to protect and raise a child. So you see them nasty dirty pedophiles, them messing up the lives of our children. In the lockdown they had a feast. Every innocent child know peace. I watched my son sleep last night and I cried, praying to God please protect his life. Cause anybody take God out the thought, they could feel the real fury of this lion roar. So please God no, we going for our abusers this year. Left foot uppercut and a good spin kick. All who hot for kids, we go change your mind quick. No, we can't take it again. We going for our abusers this year. To all them rich pedophiles who feel the money could save you. If we can't get you, I go to Obi, I go reach you. No, we can't take it again. We going for our abusers this year. I have a whole crew from South, East, West and Port of Spain. Give you a zestful cocktail that you touch a China again. No, we can't take it again. We going for our abusers this year. It is time we look out for one and all. So if you know a child needs saving, what? Signal the call. Turn a blind eye on a child, not take. Is when a man in distress, we just laugh and make joke when he cry, without thinking how he feels inside. So don't wait until he slaughter your family. Police take reports seriously and stop the mockery. Mental support is what the men them lacking. It's time we listen, cause a woman could be evil as hell. Though some of them well, abusive and grim, then playing victim. Time to lock up some of them and throw in the key. Since we like to protest gender equality, so please warn them. No, hell no for you too. You're playing bad John only time before. Now you're crying long tears trying to hide behind the law.